So today I'm going to be talking about the 13th Amendment. I'm not going to go into too much detail because honestly, who needs me going on and on about a government document? But I thought I can't really do a series on the Civil War and not talk about the 13th Amendment. I'll probably do one on the 14th and the 15th in a while. I don't know. But the 13th is the big one. So let's get right into it. Well, wait. The 13th Amendment, what you probably know if you know anything, is that what it essentially did was abolish slavery in the United States. In theory. And, well, it said that it was passed in 1865, but not, it started before. Passing an amendment is not an easy process. So it all started when the Senate passed this on April 8th, 1864. The House then passed it on January 31st, 1865. The Congress, I got confused with the UK Parliament. Congress passed it by January 31st, 1865. Now, then, literally the day after this, February 1st, 1865, Abraham Lincoln, still alive at this point, he approved this and approved the joint resolution of Congress, so this idea of the 13th Amendment, and said, hey, let's submit it so it can be evaluated and see if we can actually amend state legislature. So to ratify this, to successfully pass an amendment, you can't just have I don't think it's 50-50 majority, but it's not just because the president wants it. You need a certain number of states voting for it. And he got it. Mainly from the north, but he did get it. On December 6, 1865. However, by this point, Lincoln was pretty much dead. And yeah, that's the passing of the 13th Amendment. And I'm going to quote what it said, which is quite astounding. And I've known this for ages, but it shocked me when I first heard this. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their to their jurisdiction. So, to summarize, slavery or any kind of holding people against their will is completely illegal. Completely illegal. But if a person has committed a crime and has been convicted of that crime, sure, why not? It's a punishment. Why not? That's why before I said in theory abolish slavery. It's this unless punishment for a crime. It's that comment which really struck me. Because what if the police, what if the laws enforcing authorities, what if the judge really wanted to stick it to a group of people, falsely accuse them of a crime and convict them, and then it's legal? That's the thing that shocked me when I first heard of this, because it's a common conception, it's a common misconception that the 13th Amendment abolished all slavery. It didn't. It just didn't. Lincoln himself believed slavery was a necessity. Just inhuman, but a necessity. He agreed with Thomas Jefferson in that matter. They both thought the same thing. Anyway, so yeah, I've talked about how it was passed, but I haven't really talked about the 13th Amendment itself. Well, back in 1863, Lincoln campaigned for this thing called he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, I'm going to quote: "All persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then thenceforward and forever free." It didn't really free anyone. It was a proclamation rather than an actual law. What do you think? Well, it was a start, and Lincoln realized that he needed. This is the first step. He couldn't exactly do an amendment out of the blue. He had to do this proclamation to try and guarantee the abolishment of slavery. Note how I've just quoted from the actual Emancipation Proclamation. There is no mention of the phrase "unless punishment for a crime." But in the actual amendment, it's there. Approved by Lincoln. So, tell me about that. Well, the amendment itself was passed by the end of the Civil War, and this was kind of done before the South could re-enter the Union. They weren't. They didn't wait because they knew it would be easier to pass this if the South wasn't there to vote in Congress. And so they passed it, like I said, they passed the Senate passed the thing in 1864. But I also mentioned how the House passed it in January 31st, 1865. Almost a year. That's weird, right? Well, the House of Representatives, if I say Commons, I'm sorry, I don't think I've said it, but I've caught myself saying Commons. So that's the lower house of British Parliament, so excuse me, I got confused. Anyway, the Representatives, they didn't pass it after April 64. And Lincoln got pissed. He said, "Dude, I want this passed. I'm going to personally ensure this gets passed." And, well, he thought, hey, I have to run for president next year. What if we just add the amendment to the Republican Party and have it be a main point in the election? So the people can actually vote for it instead of just representatives. If we add it to the promises and the people vote, they're going to be voting for this. And if the people don't want this, they can just kick me out of office, and that's it. Well, Lincoln won. Congress said, sure. And he won the election. And in January 1865, they passed the amendment with a vote of 119 to 56. This is quite shocking. I mean, 56 votes against the amendment from the North. And it was a kind of a legal solution, legal way out of slavery, but there were some loopholes, like what I mentioned was unless punishment for a crime or whatever. And this, along with the 14th and the 15th Amendment, they're like the main things that come out of the Civil War. Because Civil War, it's mainly remembered as what about the end of slavery with the 13th Amendment. People know the 13th Amendment. But it also about the 14th and 15th, which I will talk about later. I have a rough idea of what they are, but I honestly need to do more research because I'm not American and I don't know enough about this. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.